This changes everything for the New York Knicks, as there are very high tensions with this series against the Indiana Pacers, with a lot of history and a lot of storylines surrounding it. But there is one particular thing that is going to decide everything between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers that is working out in the Knicks' favor right now, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you're part of that 72% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, you guys have been like the Knicks this playoffs. You guys have been killing it. The likes, the subscribes, the views, it's been off the charts right now. Let's keep it up. Let's get to 15K before we get this series to Game 3. But let's jump into the video. There's a lot to go over with this New York Knicks team. Tom Thibodeau obviously has his work cut out for him against the Indiana Pacers, a team that outcoached him last year in the NBA playoffs. However, the Knicks were missing a lot of their roster. Tibbs had to make adjustments with an injured Josh Hart, with Julius Randle not being there, with Mitchell Robinson not being there as he was injured after Game 2 and stopped playing, with OG Anunoby getting injured, with a bunch of different players getting injured on that New York Knicks team last year. Tom Thibodeau was unable to make the adjustments needed for the Knicks to win in 7 games. They did lose that Game 7, but now it is a new-look Knicks team against this Indiana Pacers team. Now, I've said already that this Knicks team is better suited to play the Pacers, but more importantly, they're healthy, and that's not the big storyline surrounding things. There are a bunch of storylines surrounding how Brunson is going to handle Tyrese Halliburton, with that anger of being snubbed for Halliburton in that Olympic team. And on top of that, how the Knicks are going to respond to that Game 7 loss. There's still a lot of people left from that team last year that wants to respond well. OG Anunoby being healthy and guarding Pascal Siakam, which he did a successful job against in the first 2 games before going down with an injury, where Josh Hart was not as successful against guarding Siakam. How Josh Hart's going to respond to being healthy for the first time against the Pacers in this playoff run. There's going to be a lot to go over with this team, and we're going to see a lot of storylines play out. But one particular thing, one reason more than any other ones, is what's going to define this series. And this man right here, Karl-Anthony Towns, plays a huge part into this. On top of Mitchell Robinson, who also plays a part into this. We did talk about Mitch recently, though. Karl-Anthony Towns, he decides everything for this New York Knicks team, as Towns, throughout his career, has dominated Myles Turner. Karl-Anthony Towns is averaging 29 points per game with 12 rebounds per game while shooting 53% from the field and 43% from 3 for his career against Myles Turner. Now, Turner is known to be a solid defender. He's a great shot blocker who's quick on his feet and is able to defend big men pretty well. Now, the shot blocking does inflate the value that his defense really puts, but he is a good defender nonetheless, and more importantly, he's an excellent shooter who can create his own shot off the dribble a little bit, which is rare for a 7-footer in basketball. Now, Turner played a big part in the Pacers winning the series last year against the Knicks, and now this year, the Knicks are way better suited to handle what Myles Turner is going to throw at them. They have Towns, who likes to play in the perimeter and likes defending on the perimeter better than down low, where Myles Turner does his work, and on top of that, Karl-Anthony Towns, in a general sense, is just ready for this matchup. These two have played in the NBA together every single year that each other have been here, both being part of that 2015 NBA draft. Towns being the first pick, Myles Turner being picked, I want to say 11th, 12th. I am blanking out it, unfortunately, but it was around that area in the early 10s that Turner was selected. Obviously a successful choice by the Indiana Pacers, and he's still there all this time later. He's, I believe, the only player left from that 2015 draft class that has not changed teams, so shout out to Myles Turner. I mean, there's probably 1 or 2 guys that were in the NBA for a year and then didn't, but mostly everyone else of note, Karl-Anthony Towns, Kristaps Porzingis, D'Angelo Russell, they all changed teams. Well, Jahlil Okafor, I guess, got around as well, and so did Mario Hezonja for that matter, but we've seen standouts like Norman Powell switch teams. That's not the storyline here, though. The story is that Karl-Anthony Towns has been elite against Myles Turner throughout his career, and the New York Knicks this season, specifically Towns, have been great against Myles Turner and the Pacers this season. What we've seen thus far is these are the top 5 lineups that were used against the Indiana Pacers in the regular season for the New York Knicks. Now, all but one of these lineups includes Karl-Anthony Towns. The one that doesn't, the big man, was actually Jericho Sims, who's not with the team anymore, and the Knicks did succeed with that. But their most used lineup, the net rating is around even right now, and that is the starting lineup, unsurprisingly. The starting lineup for the Knicks had a net rating below most teams when you look at it, so the fact that they're even is already a good sign. But then you look at the other units that Karl-Anthony Towns is a part of, and a unit that was Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, and Precious Achiuwa, we saw them have an 18.5 plus net rating. And then Towns, Cameron Payne, Josh Hart, Landry Shamet, and Deuce McBride. Not exactly the world's greatest lineup, and not a lineup we'll see throughout this. They had a 57-point net rating as well. So we've seen Karl-Anthony Towns succeed. And one thing is, the second most used lineup was a lineup that Karl-Anthony Towns was in with a double big, with Precious Achiuwa also being out there with Jalen Brunson. This definitely makes you wonder, is OG going to come out at some points? Are they going to put Mitchell Robinson in his place? And is Mitchell Robinson going to slide to that center role while Towns plays the 4, and the Knicks just show complete dominance against the Pacers team that sort of has a tweener of a big man in Pascal Siakam? So it makes this a very, very interesting situation here where the New York Knicks are set to do really, really well against this team. Now, we know the New York Knicks are going to be ready for this matchup. That's not something we have to think about, but we do have to wonder how Mitchell Robinson is going to fare against a team that was the last team that he played before going down with almost a year-long injury, and that's also the last time he faced the Pacers. Mitchell Robinson has not played the Pacers since he went down with that injury that made him miss till February of last year, or this season, I should say. So, it's obviously, there's a lot going on with this playoff matchup. But the Knicks big man situation makes you really, really, really excited. We look at Karl-Anthony Towns attacking the rim and his averages against the Pacers in these 3 games that they played, or that Towns played against them, saying he averaged 30 points, 12 rebounds, shot 56.6% from the field and 46.7% from 3, and 69% on drives. So Miles Turner, shot blocker, not getting the job done, which is an excellent sign for the New York Knicks. On top of that, we look at the playoff pick stoppers. We know that the Pacers like to run a lot of switches or force teams to switch a lot and try to make teams collapse so they can create open threes. You know, something the Knicks just dealt with the Boston Celtics and dismantled. Yeah, that. Well, OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson are the best pick-and-roll stopper in basketball. They prevent teams from scoring and have the least points allowed of any duo with 0.58 allowed. Now, yes, Aaron Nesmith and Miles Turner are on this list, along with are Andrew Nembhard and Tyrese Halliburton. The Knicks are going to know this. They're going to know how to use this. Now, Nesmith and Turner are going to get into situations together. Nesmith is going to be on Brunson. Towns is going to set screens. Turner could end up on Brunson. But at the same time, I'm still happy to have Jalen Brunson just take Miles Turner dancing. It's not something I'm really worried about. And on top of that, we also see Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson on this list, and Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns on this list when Towns and Brunson are defending the guy setting the screen. Both of them have been very passable as defenders. So this sets the Knicks up well, specifically with Towns here. This sets him up well because he knows what Turner's going to do. Turner's going to want to pop off the screen. Yes, sometimes he rolls and looks for lobs that Halliburton does throw. But Towns is someone who's been able to stop Miles Turner throughout his career and outplay Miles Turner throughout his career, which is what you want to see out of your superstar in Karl-Anthony Towns. Knicks fans should be absolutely loving all of this right now. And we see that Mitchell Robinson versus Turner averages 6.6 points and 6.2 rebounds per game with 2.5 blocks, and also is still Mitchell Robinson, and this is his career. Mitch obviously didn't get a ton of burn at first, so these numbers are impacted. Given the points are probably higher than anything because his points have usually depreciated throughout his career, given his effectiveness has gone up, so it doesn't matter. But Mitchell Robinson has been phenomenal against them as well. I want to see this double big set now more than ever, and I do believe that Tom Thibodeau is going to use it because it works favorably in matchups. I'm so excited to see how this all works out for the New York Knicks, and I'm so excited for this series. So guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. When that game ends, when game 1 ends, I will have a video out right after breaking all that stuff down and all the storylines surrounding it as well. So make sure to have your post notifications on so you see that one as well. Also, have a great day. Let's go watch the Knicks win game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Damn, that feels good to say.